I lied because I wanted this mess to be cleared up quickly.
So you just perjured yourself, okay. What you have just done is commit perjury, Mr. Armstrong. I will decide how to punish you later.
Ooh.
Oh.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to 4 Pixels. Cuckoo is here with Smog and Smooth, and we are continuing Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations.
What is good in the hood?
Pick away your line.
All right, we ready? Okay, cool. All right, sorry. I do this every time. Sorry.
It's okay.
Okay. And I think I know the reason why nothing in this case is adding up. Well, Mr. Wright, let's hear your answer. Yes, Your Honor. The reason behind all the contradiction in Mr. Kudo's testimony is simple. This case is riddled with contradictions. Yet there is one very simple answer that clears them all up. And what is that? The incident Mr. Kudo witnessed and the incident the victim experienced were two completely different events.
Nani?
What?
Yes, the victim that Mr. Kudo saw wasn't Mr. Glenn Elg at all. It was an imposter, a phony pretending to be Mr. Elg. Obviously, unlike the victim, there was nothing wrong with the imposter's left eardrum. That's how he ended up wearing the earpiece in his left ear by mistake. Nice, dude. Order in the court. Settle down or I'll clear the courtroom.
Quiet, Gramps. Why don't you clear out of here, huh?
What did you say?
Trite, are you saying that what Mr. Kudo saw was a setup?
Yes. Someone pretended to be Glenn Elg and acted out the whole coffee poisoning. All for the express purpose of creating a witness out of one Mr. Victor Kudo.
Get real, Trite. Why would anyone want to do that?
Isn't it obvious? Not really. The thing Mr. Kudo was most insistent about in his testimony was
the serving girl brought him a hot keto, but she put something in it. That's the serving girl right there, the defendant's chair. I remember her well.
It's so hard to believe, but there was one and only one reason to show Mr. Kudo this fake poisoning. To to show Maggie Bird in the act of poisoning the coffee. My bad.
It's okay. If you see me adjusting the volume, don't like change how you guys are talking, cause then, you know, that'll
undo what you just did.
Yeah.
Alright, should I do that one again? Or?
Now we're
Okay, cool.
Are you insinuating that the waitress in the old man's story was a fake as well? It's true that there were no other customers in the restaurant at the time, but it's also true that the chef was there. He would have noticed what was happening.
That's right. Well, witness, if your restaurant really was the scene of such theatrics, you would have known about it, correct?
Oh la la, this is most difficult for me.
No, it's quite simple. All you have to do is testify. You are under oath, after all. Was there, in fact, a phony at Tribulations that day? The defense demands that Mr. Armstrong tell the whole truth about what happened. The defense's request for additional testimony is accepted. You will accurately explain in detail the events in the restaurant that day.
Wait. La victime, Monsieur Elk, he came to my restaurant alone. I remember the old man arrived not long after him. There were no other customers. When he got word he won la lottery mon, Elk became very excited. It was approximately 5 minutes later that the poisoning incident occurred. None, there was no time for a phony to do la acting.
Just so we're clear, there was no mirror in the restaurant after all.
Je vous demande pardon. Forgive me, Your Honor. I lied because I wanted this mess to be cleared up quickly.
So you just perjured yourself, okay. What you have just done is commit perjury, Mr. Armstrong. I will decide how to punish you later.
Ooh.
Oh.
Oui.
For now, we will hear your cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
Wait, what? That was the way he phrased that. It was like if he was gonna get testimony from Phoenix.
Okay, I get what you're saying, yeah. He took that perjury charge a little too well. But I'm guessing he'll be in more serious trouble after this cross-examination.
La victim, Monsieur Elk, he came to my restaurant alone.
Was he alone at his table as well?
my sweet. I saw him from the kitchen.
Yet the defendant, Miss Bird, remembers it differently. She swears there was another man at the victim's table. I was gonna say hotel.
Ha! Unfortunately for you, Trite. Yesterday's witness also testified that the victim was alone. You know, seeing you squirm like that reminds me of a certain coffee's bittersweet bite.
What kind of coffee has he been drinking?
It's not coffee, it's love. It's love that's bittersweet.
Hearing Maya say that makes her seem wise all of a sudden.
I remember that old man arrived not long after him.
By old man, you mean Victor Kudo, correct?
Oui, he comes often for my special coffee. I drink your That's how bad it tasted. I drank your coffee once, Mr. Armstrong. It's special. I'll give you that. It's worth a sip just for the experience. Oh, you make me so happy, monsieur. You are most welcome anytime. I said it was worth one sip, nothing more.
So old Mr. Kudo arrived at the restaurant around the same time as the victim. Maybe I should ask about his arrival in more detail. Don't ask anything. Out of curiosity, about what time was it when Mr. Kudo arrived?
Oh no, I cannot remember, monsieur.
I believe we were told by a witness yesterday.
The crime was reported at 2:25 p.m. by a kind of scary old man, sir.
Does that perhaps jog your memory, witness?
The incident happened about 20 minutes after he arrived. So the victim must have arrived between 2 and 10 p.m., non?
Just after 2, huh?
Thank you for jogging your... Oh.
I saw.
Thank you for jogging... Wait. My brain is not working.
Oh, for real? It did flash for me for a hot second.
Yeah, it flashed, but I keep saying the thing that I wasn't supposed to say over. Thank you for your help in jogging my memory, monsieur. You are wonderful.
I can't sit here all the time and do nothing now, can I? Wow. The time of day will be added to the witness's testimony.
Monsieur Judge, everything I do it for you.
Merci bien. That's French, isn't it? I'm glad at least one person is in a good mood.
He's even humming a song to himself.
I remember that old man arrived not long after him, just after 2 p.m.
Are you absolutely sure about the time?
When I think really hard, I am sure it was just after 2. Oui. It is la time I stopped serving la lunch menu.
Quite right. I always break for lunch when the restaurants are serving their specials.
The early bird special?
I've been known to wind up a case early just to make it on time. I would not have admitted that out loud. Ha ha!
Okay, boomer.
I guess you should never get between a hungry judge and his lunch. Oh, would you look at that? It's almost lunchtime already. Witness, get on with your testimony, please.
There were no other customers.
So your only customers were Mr. Kudo and the victim? Well, that's easy to believe.
How many times do you need to ask the same thing, trite? You'd never catch me drinking the same blend twice.
Huh?
You're trying to establish the presence of a phony victim in the restaurant. But you're wasting your time. You can't grind birdseed to make coffee, if you catch my drift.
I'm sure there's a way.
Ugh. But there's a hole in his testimony somewhere. I'm sure of it.
Maybe if I just check his pants pockets. When he got word he won La Lotto de Mon, Elk became very excited.
Did you see him?
None. I was in the kitchen, but I heard him. I remember him shouting, "Yes, $500,000!"
Smart man.
Bruh.
Presumably the defendant heard that too then, correct?
No.
Maggie? She looked like a poor little frightened dove.
And what about Mr. Kudo?
The old man choked on some bird seeds that got stuck in his throat.
It seems we now have yet another incident on our hands.
It was approximately 5 minutes later that the poisoning incident occurred.
And what were you doing at that point? Without any customers, you must have had time to kill.
I am a multi-talented woman, monsieur.
Sorry? What do you mean?
There is la renowned chef Jean Armstrong and la tragic poet Clarice Armstrong.
Clarice?
Oui, I was writing a poem, an angry tale of a chef in $500,000 of debt.
Uh-oh.
cooking for a man who won $500,000 on a lottery. It is called Pourquoi. It means why. Perhaps I could recite it for la court.
Please don't.
Rude, Phoenix.
Ah,
Non, there was no time for a phony to do la acting.
you mean you contacted the police as soon as the incident occurred?
I asked la old man to call from la payphone. By your own argument, Trite. The purpose of this phony victim's performance was so the old man would see it. In other words, once the incident occurred, this opportunity would completely disappear.
Indeed.
Bien, it seems la shadow of doubt has been lifted, n'est-ce pas?
I guess Mr. Armstrong is connected to this case, huh?
Absolutely. Someone was impersonating Mr. Elg, and I refuse to believe he was oblivious. He was there the whole time, after all.
But if you're right, wouldn't Maggie have noticed too?
She fell unconscious when the incident occurred, remember?
Huh, you mean that's when the phony staged his act?
We'll know for sure once I find a hole in this testimony.
La victim, Monsieur Elg, he came to my restaurant alone.
How do you remember? Oh yeah, that's right.
I always review things.
Okay, because I'm like,
that.
how do you remember this stuff?
Not that one. Wait, did I skip it? The thing that has like the radio announcement.
Yeah, that's the thing that I was thinking of, but I don't know which one it is. There we go. I'm afraid I finally got you, Mr. Armstrong.
Quoi? What do you mean?
At the time in question, the victim was listening to the radio with his earpiece. The show he was listening to was Millionaire Radio. Each week, they announced the winning number of a $500,000 lottery ticket.
Oui, that must be la show Mon Elg was listening to.
I can't see any problem with this testimony, Mr. Wright. I wonder. You say the victim arrived at your restaurant after 2 p.m., correct?
Oui, oui, I am sure of it. I remember it perfectly now. I know it was that time because I had just finished serving la lunch menu. Get to the point, Trites. If you have one.
That show is broadcast live at 1:30 p.m. And it claims to be the most thrilling 10 minutes of your life. It's on the air at 1:30. Now, supposedly the victim made some noise when it was announced that he had won. And yet, I don't believe his cry of joy would have occurred after 2 p.m. Because the show had already finished more than 30 minutes earlier by that point in time.
No!
This victim we've been told about has done nothing but the impossible. Listening to the radio with a ruptured eardrum, catching a show that was already over? There is only one conclusion you could draw from these facts. And we'll find out in the next episode. Oh. Daggone it. I thought I had it right on time.
Why do you do this to yourself every time?
Because one day I'm going to be right.
I mean, if you do
I
it
just
every
feel
time,
it.
eventually, if you do it every time, eventually you will be right.
See,
Law of
that's a lie.
averages says so.
This victim was an imposter, acting out the poisoning 30 minutes after the real murder. Yes, there were 2 Glen Elgs in Tribulations that day. The real Glen Elg, now dead, having been poisoned by the real killer, and the phony Glen Elg, acting out the events for Mr. Kudo to witness. It certainly seems that way. I mean, if that wasn't the case, how could you explain the time discrepancy?
Quite a performance, Trite. You were almost on a roll. But sadly, you lack the rock-hard foundation of rhythm to build your song.
What is this? Music Theory 101?
Let's recap. According to your imaginative theory, it's now just after 2 p.m. The phony Elg is performing a play for the benefit of Mr. Kudo. How do you explain then where the real Glen Elg is?
I don't believe I have to spell this out for the court. However, at that time, the real Glen Elg was already dead. That's certainly the obvious conclusion.
Thank you, Trite. That's exactly what I was hoping you would say.
What?
Now, I presume you proved this theory of yours. Can you explain where the missing corpse went to?
The missing corpse?
According to the old man's testimony, there was only one other customer there. If that customer was the phony Glen Elg, then where did the killer hide the body of the real victim?
Ah! The prosecution has a valid point, Mr. Wright. If your theory is to stand up to examination by the court, you must provide us with proof by answering the prosecution's question. Where did the killer hide the body?
And we will
Don't.
answer that
Don't.
next time.
Ah.
Thank you guys for joining us and see you then.
Oh my gosh.
Alright. Using items. Items are not used automatically. Stand in front of an object to interact with and use an item from the menu. Some items will have an effect simply due to your having them in your possession. Check an item's description for more information. Movement. Check space, enter in the Z. Cancel, escape, dash, shift, or Z. Okay. I'm sure we'll be using that sometime soon. Sharp tool for cutting rusty and old. That doesn't really tell us much. Mouse. And the kitty's gone. Patch of spiky grass. This is really pretty. I like this so far. The way is blocked by a small patch of flowers. We can probably cut roses. Hey, can we cut the roses back there? Let's... Oh, well, so much for that. Should have tried the other batch first. Hello, not spooky looking house. And we've already got a patch of blood. Oh! Well. Okay.